Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you guys are new, I'm starting this YouTube channel. It's kind of just documenting a little bit about what I do. I own a media production company and I do a lot of commercials. I do a lot of music videos, and we're going to be posting a lot of cool content on this channel. I think you guys should hit a follow if you guys want to see a little bit more about that. But today we're going to be going to a park and just practice. I'm getting into FPV drones. It's been really cool. It's been really fun, and it's been a lot to learn. It's been just videos after videos, just trying to learn as much as I can. It's definitely not as easy as flying a Mavic, or I have the Mavic 2 Pro, and I use that a lot for my work. And those are so easy to fly. You can just launch it, you know, you can just fly it out there and get some cool shots. You're watching it on your phone, but an FPV is a lot different. You have to control everything about the drone, including the throttle, like how you're gonna like pivot the drone, and like where the drone goes is in your control. Like up, like if you crash it, it's your fault. But most of the time, but it's been really fun. So today we're just gonna be going to the park and we're gonna get a little bit more practice in. I've been putting a lot of time into it, the simulator, and just trying to learn as much as I can about flying these FPV drones. And I feel like I've learned a lot on the simulator, and I'm glad I put in all the time that I did into the simulator, because it definitely did help a lot. Yeah, just follow me to the park. We'll see what happens. So today we were trying to build the FPV drone. As you can see, we were gonna try to fly it today. I did have a little bit of issue with the GoPro mount. I was trying to install it and I was just trying to fly it, but when I flew, for whatever reason, it crashed, I guess, and it got loose from the mount. I had to re-screw it again. But we're gonna keep trying and see why it's not stabilizing. It just randomly flipped to yeah. So this is what I'm currently set up with. I'll definitely go into more detail with each item, but today we're just kind of at the park. We're trying to just fly, but definitely using the GoPro Black 7. This one, the quality of this camera is actually really good, and the hyper smooth definitely helps a lot. I'm running an Eachine FPV. It's called the Cvatar, I think it's believed. It's a 3-inch Cinewhoop. It's a great drone, to be honest. And I have it paired with a FlySky receiver. When I first got started, I got a FlySky transmitter, but I ended up switching from that one because I did get a little drone as well. Honestly, it's a great little Cinewhoop. My only complaint with it is it doesn't handle the wind very well. It tends to kind of like get thrown around by the wind, and I don't know. So honestly, it needs some work. But I did hear you can remove the prop guards and the little cylinder tubes to make it an open chassis, but it takes away from the protection, because you are able to fly this one indoors and go from indoor to outdoor. And with this one, you could bump into things and the guards won't cut up people. You do have other, like the exposed ones, like if you get caught up by one of the propellers, it will mess you up. No doubt. All right, we're about to just troubleshoot. We're gonna try to fly it right now. We're gonna see if it flies well. Like I was just saying earlier, like it was giving me quite a bit of issues right now. Here you go. Give me a second. Let me put it up. So I'm probably not gonna put the GoPro right now, just because I did have that issue. I kind of want to see how it's gonna react first, and then I'll see how I'm feeling. All right, let's put it down. Okay, so we're setting up the remote. We'll plug in the goggles as well. I got the goggles here. I am gonna fly without the goggles. I just want to see how it's gonna react. Let's see. Okay, so it's definitely flying a lot better. I think it might be the GoPro mount. I think the GoPro, because it's too windy, I think it can't handle the weight of the battery, the GoPro, and the wind. I think it might be causing it to fall down. Because right now it was flying a lot better, but definitely the the GoPro made it fly a lot weirder. Like it kept crashing basically. But I guess I won't put the GoPro. I won't be able to record any footage today, but we're gonna see what we could do today. We're just gonna keep practicing. Okay, we're back. So we got some good practice today. I didn't really get to fly too much today. I only got like 8 minutes in, unfortunately. I did have some stuff to do, and also the wind was kind of like really messing with the drone today. I knew these drones aren't the best when it comes to flying and during the windy days, I guess. Like when it's windy, they don't do great, just because they do have like all this padding, and I guess they're not that aerodynamic. But I don't know. I'll put the clip. The drone just literally just plopped, like it just fell, and the GoPro mount ended up just coming out, and I had to like on the spot kind of like just screw it back in together. The mount's back in there, but yeah, the wind was really pushing this drone around, and like at some points like I would just be flying and I'll be like trying to move forward, and the wind literally is blowing as hard, so the drone's literally just staying in the same spot even though I'm hitting the throttle. I would have to really hit the throttle for it to move forward. And it's a great drone, but I just feel like during windy times it's a very tricky to fly, and I wouldn't recommend you flying it, especially if you're just getting started, because it does take, like, you definitely have to adjust yourself to the wind, and the wind is always changing. So like for an instant I was flying forward, and then the drone changed direction, and I changed into that direction where the wind was coming at, and the drone accelerated insanely fast, and I had to like stop before I hit a tree. So I'm definitely going to be a little bit more careful when I fly. Today was very windy, unfortunately, but I also got another drone. I think you guys saw it in the video at the park. It's like a little beta FPV drone. It's one of those like little quadcopters, I think they're called. But this one is very little. Look at this. It's very tiny. This is if you're just getting started into FPV, I kind of recommend you to start something with this. You can fly it inside the house. You can fly it outside, and believe it or not, it flies pretty well for it being outside. I was practicing at my girlfriend's house, and I was surprised how fast this little thing is. But yeah, if you're just getting started into FPV, I suggest maybe getting one of these. But I do recommend you getting the transmitter, like the one that I have, something like that, something that you're just gonna use for long term. Because most of the time when you buy those kits that come with like the goggles and the remotes, you're really gonna change them pretty soon. That's kind of what happened to me. I bought a FlySky controller. I'll put a picture above, and a transmitter, my bad. And I used it for like the first few flights, and then I got this drone, and then I realized, hey, I needed another controller. And I was about to buy another controller, but it was gonna be like 40 plus 40. It's gonna be like what, 80 with taxes, like $90. And the transmitter, this one, let me pull it out. like for example, this transmitter, the Radiomaster TX16, it's a little pricey. I ended up finding this one on a great deal on Facebook. I love going on Facebook and finding things for cheap. The person never used it, actually. It was brand new. I opened it for the first time. And this one normally sells for $150, and I managed to get that one for $120, and it was a pretty good discount. And but I recommend you to start with something like this. It is a lot bigger, but I feel like when you start with something like this, it definitely helps you just bind any drone. Like I'm able to fly this one, or able to fly this one. And like in the future, if I ever want to get a different kind of drone, like a 5-inch, I won't have to change the transmitter. But if I would have gotten the little kit with this one, I probably would have ended up changing the remote, and I would have ended up changing the goggles. And it's just, you end up spending more, I guess, over long term. So I suggest just saving up, and if you can only afford the transmitter, I suggest just getting the transmitter, the remote, and then just getting a simulator. I feel like that's a great way to start, and then you slowly just start buying the things that you need. For example, like the drones, and then the goggles. Like for example, that's another thing. I jumped straight into the FPV. There's not a lot of information, like as far as like which one to get. I guess there's a lot of YouTube videos, but I feel like a lot of them are older, and then there's just so many different types. There's a lot of Chinese companies that make FPV goggles, and you have like the Fat Sharks, and they can get pretty pricey. Like some Fat Sharks can go up to like $300, $500, and if you want to go with the DJI goggles, that's like $500. So there's so many different options, but I ended up just going with these. I found them on Facebook as well. They normally go for $100 on Banggood, and they were the most sold, so I assumed like, hey, these are the most sold, that they're probably going to be pretty solid. So I bought them on Facebook for I think $50. Always check Facebook, because you always find great deals on there. These were barely used. The guy got into FPV, and I was talking to the dude, and he told me he was trying to build his FPV, and he ended up like messing up the soldering or something, fried his whole drone, and basically just realized that's not for him, and he just quit. So he sold me these for a pretty good deal. So my biggest complaint with these are like, they're very comfortable. The nose does hit the top of my nose a little bit, but other than that, they're built nicely, but the screens are so small. Like when you put them on, like you expect that, I don't know, to cover like most of the viewfinder on the thing, but it's like a very tiny, like you see a tiny little screen in there. And I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm used to like having like, I don't know, seeing VR goggles and seeing like this huge screen. It threw me off guard, but I've talked to a few people, and I've seen a couple of videos now that I got them, and they were saying like this, the biggest complaint I have about these goggles are that the screens are so small. And I feel like, to me, it's a deal breaker, just because, I don't know, like I've crashed a few times my drone, and I feel like it's because I can't really see with these goggles. It's so narrow. The field of view is very narrow, and even though it's very clear, it's so tiny, you can't really see the branches too well. And I just realized like, these are just not the goggles for me, and I'm just gonna go ahead and sell these. I'm gonna probably list them on Mercari or one of those websites and get rid of these. And then I already ordered same brand. They're called Eachine. They're box goggles. I've heard a lot better reviews, a lot bigger screen. They have, I guess, diversity built into them, so I think the reception is a little better. So we're gonna try those out. I'll make a video once they arrive, and we'll go over it, what I think about those goggles. But if you're in the market for some goggles, I personally don't recommend these. I don't think they're worth the money. I feel like now in 2020, well, now 2021, I think you can find something a lot better, even for the same price of $100. All the videos that I saw, the box goggles had better reviews, and all the people like those a little bit better. So once I get the goggles, I'll make a little video on them and we'll go over them. But I definitely don't recommend these. So I'll probably make another video soon, just going over about just me trying to learn and fly this thing. I also got a project coming up. I have a commercial shoot for a company. I think I definitely want to record that and kind of show you guys a little bit about, you know, the production side of shooting a commercial. It's going to be pretty interesting. And then I think we have a music video at the beginning of February. So we're gonna see how that goes. But yeah, so definitely follow the channel. I feel like I'm gonna be posting a lot more on this channel and kind of like putting great content out there. So if you want to follow, just hit the subscribe button at the bottom. And then if you can hit a like, that would help the channel a ton. But I'm pretty excited, and I'm excited. This is the first video that I make for this channel, and it's something that's been very interesting. It's something that I'm very looking forward to exploring more and trying to get better at it. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. So yeah, just give us a follow. I'll be posting more lately, and you guys have a great day. Bye.